Talking about them bands, but you ain't got a ego.
All right, Shalom to elect Israel, to the hopeful elect Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. Want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Name of the Heavenly Father, whereby ignorantly calls God his true name in the ancient Hebrew, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. His true name is Yahawah. Bahasham means in the name of. Yahawashi is the Holy One of Israel, by ignorantly called Jesus Christ, a so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah, who was slain at the foundation of the earth for the salvation of the elect of Israel. You got 2/3 of the wicked Israelites here in America, Babylon the Great, and the other wicked Israelites scattered across the four corners of the earth. And the Rawchaa Qadash is the Holy Spirit that has been bestowed upon the men. The Heavenly Father gave his only begotten Son out of the world to complete this work. So we always want to give double honors Tells and apostles, a great millstone, let us all to the truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray fast, show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness of wrath to all us, a part of the elect to the hopeful elect. Lord, when we part of that number, Lord, when it's be edifying those who fear in the name of the Lord, striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah 3:5, it is not slack. 2 Peter 3:9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. Shalom, I used to say, believers out there tune in here and on after Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak, Atham. We're going to get into various end time topic lesson. Going to go into a few precepts before we get into it. Spirit calling me to go across just in general, just as believers, we go over various things, whatever the Spirit hits us with. So Lord, when it's edifying to the flock, the title is, there is no I in the elect. You're in, or the Lord will cast you out. And when we say that, we don't mean just like, when you somebody who's new and you're a teacher and and that's what mainly the bulk of these messages are for teachers, they're for brothers, for us to and also for the hopeful elect as well. But we have certain lessons that are just exhortations for brothers and ourselves to make sure that we don't get in this spirit, because it's a thin line between on fire for the Lord and not. So you have to have an understanding of that measure, because every man has his own measure, of course, but it still has to be a flame lit. Even if it's a portion that is a small portion, it has to be a flame. It can't be, you can't use that as a cloak of maliciousness not to put your all into Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And there's order to that tabernacle. And if you're a teacher, you have to understand that we're not coming here to teach just to teach. We're coming here because we're hoping that we're one of these 144,000 elect men. That's what they're doing. Ain't nobody teaching in here coming to be last or second. We're coming here to be all as a body and unit first with Yahawah, Yahawashi. And in saying that, you have to be, engaged in what the body's doing. So that's one thing that you got to know when you coming into this truth, that there is no halfway in. It's and of course there's a gradual growing into the truth. You getting to the point where your flames fully lit and whatnot, in a sense of it grew. But when you start that mustard seed, that's got to be a flame, like on fire. That shit's got to be hot. Can't be no lukewarm, like you just kind of just, straggling outside the fence. You're going to come in the sheepfold, or you're going to get burned up with the chaff. Because you got to understand, it said in James chapter 3, verse 1, that someone who teaches this word, our condemnation is going to be more greater. We're going to pull it up, start the lesson, instead of starting in this. But your condemnation, your judgment is going to be a lot more swift and more strict than just somebody who's just out here. You have to understand that. So you're held to a higher accountability because you're representing all of Israel. That's what we're doing. We're coming here to represent that Israel exists. That is not a just job where you just do it however. There's requirements for that, And of course, like we said, every brother has a limit. Every brother has a measure. But you got to understand, these 144,000 elect men are the most unique men on the planet. You're going to be, you're not going to just be some regular ass Jake. You're going to be unique. You're going to be doing stuff that, no other man on the earth does. And that's one out of every 12,000 men in your tribe. You're going to be one that's different than all the other 11,999 of them. That's who you're coming to represent. That's who you're acting like you're supposed to. That's who you're supposed to be, is what we're hoping that we are. One of them. Because that's who's going to war. That's why he says it's a spiritual war. That's why we're here doing the work. Because we're hoping we're one of them. There's no other reason why you should be teaching. If you're not coming to be one of them, then you need to be just a believer and just listen and take notes. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be on fire for this thing. We're talking about, out of every tribe, you have one chance to be like no other Jake has ever been. And there's only 12,000 of them. That's not a fucking, can't just half-ass that shit, man. That's got to be all the way in. That's what we're saying. Right? So we can just do this right here. It says the tongue is a fire, right? It's got to be lit. James chapter 3, verse 1, my brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. I'm going to read that in NLT. It's very serious, man, what we're involved with. And a lot of Jakes, you know, that are new, including myself, I was even on fire when I came in, but I still didn't have a grasp. And that's you know, that's understandable. You can't expect to have a grasp of something as elegant and serious as this when you first come in. You never will. There's no Jake that's gonna come in this thing and you just got it. You know, you got the elders and apostles still learning stuff today. Been doing it for 40 years, you know? And we're in a whole nother time where things are way more serious, way more spiritual, way more elevated, you know? So it's like, nah, man. Nah, spirit's supposed to be beaming right now. We're almost out of here. We've been waiting for 1,000 years to get the fuck out of here. You got to be beaming right now. We've been waiting for this time. Ain't no reason to feel down now. We're almost out of here, right? So it talks about controlling the tongue, right? It says, dear brothers and sisters, not many of you should become teachers in the church. See, for we who teach be judged more strictly. So that's why you think GMS is strict, because we know that we're going to get judged more strictly, right? Verse 2, what it says, indeed, we all make many mistakes, for if we can control our tongues, we will be perfect and could also control ourselves in every other way. That's why what? We ask Yahawah, Yahawashi to do what? Keep us occupied in prophecy, because we're talking about this. That's us controlling the tongue. You're talking about this every day, your tongue is being controlled. You know, by Yahawah, Yahawashi, you're taking captive of every thought. Because if you don't take captive every thought, we're going to give you an example of what's going to happen to you. Coming to this truth, you on some half-ass shit, the Lord's going to have you sound like one of these jakes out here that we're about to pull up. That guy's through. You know? And you can tell he was listening to GMS because sometimes he was saying certain stuff that I have heard some brothers say. You know? He's been listening to GMS, so he knows who we are. You know, they had that, and I don't know, the elders like, that didn't sound like, you know, what a brother said, but I did hear one brother, he was talking about the first one hired, last one fired, but it's not like a actual, like, it's not that literal, okay? It's just saying that they don't really take us serious, and when they want to get rid of us, they get rid of us, that we're just assets. That's all he's really saying. He's not really like, Jake just thinking too damn deep, man. It's not about being deep. You have to be balanced and understand that Jake got style, man. You got to know this lingo, man. You got to know really what you're saying before you say it. Just because you hear words doesn't mean that it's interpreted that way. That's why there's a whole lot of people here finna get blown up. So they try to look at this and interpret the wrong way. You got to be very careful when you're dealing with this book. Okay? This is the weapon of all weapons. You touch this shit wrong and it destroys you. Okay? And it'll make you destroy yourself slowly until it gets you. This thing is not nothing to play with. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. It says, I know thy works, right? That thou art neither hot or cold nor hot. I would thou work cold or hot, right? You in or out. And there is no I. You're in or out or what? The body. So what is that? What does that mean? You go wherever the body goes. We can't have a leg way the fuck out here and the head's over here. No, we're all together. Forever, every day. You know, in the spirit. And of course, we come meet once at a camp, but you got some of us brothers, we are around each other and see each other every day. That is the core of the brotherhood. We're around, see each other every day, man. Just like a wife, it said, we're the bride of Yahawashi, right? We're the bride, right? We're the woman. Do you want a woman that's there one week and then gone the next week, don't talk to you, call you, nothing, disappeared? No. The Lord doesn't want no woman like that. He wants that when she's there every day taking care of him the best she can. And if, you know, sometimes it's just saying, you know, I'm just saying, like, to a woman wise, just give some you awkward out there. Like, now don't think of the spirit like you just got to be just, you know, just do the best you can. That's all I'm saying. Just do the best you can. You know, whatever you do, the Lord sees your intentions and he's going to take care of you if you really are sincere. You know what I'm saying? But in the sense of us, how I was shy, we do videos every day and stuff, man, because we want the Lord to see that we're tending to his flock, like he said. We're being administrative. We're going in here. We're trying to figure out how to better ourselves while we're representing Israel. That's what we're doing. You know, and that has to be the right way. It has protocol and all types of guidelines in it that you will not understand until you really get closer to what the Lord set up. You know, and you start being like, damn, they're really in here doing shit. They just don't show everybody, man. That's what I love about GMS, man. You'll never know how magnificent our elders and apostles are, man, till you really step in this thing, you know, and you'll still be marveled. You know, as you go into it, you start to see like, damn, the technicalities and the situations that you would have never understood, you know, without this truth, right? So neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth, right? Get rid of you. Verse 17, because thou sayest, I am rich, right? And I won't even go that far. I want to go into this word lukewarm, okay? I'm going to go into this word in the Greek, okay? And then we're going to show you a couple more words with it to give you a clear understanding what he's saying.
Strong's G 5513, chliaras.
Chliaras. Okay, right? That's lukewarm in the Greek. So we're going to look up this word tepid, right? It says tepid, lukewarm, right? We're going to look up this word. Tepid, right? You click the button. We always click it. Tepid, especially of a liquid, only slightly warm, lukewarm. That's a spiritual sense, which means what? The second one, showing little enthusiasm, not really showing that you're engaged. You just kind of just lollygagging a little bit in the spirit, and like this different things in the spirit, like there's no, you don't even have to really talk, okay? But we do the talking because that's what we're doing right now. We're speaking judgment into existence. That's what it sounds like, these men. Okay? So when you're speaking, you need to be one of them. You know, if you're speaking, period. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're coming here for. So you got to have enthusiasm. Like, I might be one out of 12,000 Israelites who are fucking own my own universe forever. You got to be a little bit enthusiastic. You got to be a little bit excited about that. Okay? And a lot of people think like we're you know, sometimes you might think that we sound sarcastic, and it's not. It's just so vast what we're wrapping around our heads. Sometimes it's like speechless and shit, man. You have no idea how unique you have to be one of these men. And we can't do that unless the Lord does it. And of course, like I said, there's different portions, but I tell you this, the least of those 144,000 elect men are like King David. They're not fucking playing at all. They're on fire. Whatever portion they got, they diving for balls and everything. Whatever they got to do. Taking fouls, whatever. Shit. We're on the court. We're playing. You know? So it says lukewarm, right? Metaphorically, of the condition of the soul, wretchedly fluctuating between a tapor and a fervor of love, right? So we're going to look at this word, fluctuating. Okay? Let's look that up. Just what this is, fluctuating, right?
Fluctuating,
rising and rising irregularly in a number or amount. Like you just constantly doing some shit that's not showing that you're on fire for Yahawashi. You do that, and he maybe got whatever number he got. If you do it that many times and you fluctuate being on and off and shit irregularly, because we're supposed to fail. Like I said, we make mistakes many times, but if you're doing it in a way where it's like you ain't even showing no enthusiasm, what are you gonna do? You're gonna get rid of you. Okay? That's what he's saying. You in and out. Your fire be burning one week, then you're gonna do videos a whole nother week. What the hell is that? No. That is fluctuating. Just like a baby, you got to feed it every day or it dies. You can't be going like 2 days out feeding your kids and shit. They die. That's the same with sheep. You got to feed them every day or they're going to die.
Torpor.
Because you got somebody who in Jacob's trouble and your ass then disappear for a week. Most of the people when you get back not going to be there if you're the fucking leader, okay? You got to be there every day on their ass watching them, make sure everybody's in order. That's what we're here to do. Get ready to be those men who the Lord calls and said, you're going to do this. It's going to work. Everything else here is about to not work except those men and what their job is, right? Tapor, a state of physical or mental inactivity. Legarthy, sluggishness, see? And that shit is serious, man. It's on both sides. So that's why you see the others apostles be like, work out. And some of us, it's harder for us. We battle with that, working out and shit. Because we're so vexed and tired of this place and people just demons beaming on us and we going through shit we ain't telling you and shit. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's harder for other brothers, but in those ways, some of those brothers lack other shit. We all dealing with a real battle. Like it's not like some just shit a normal man can complete. You think it's just spiritual? No, it's physical too. That's why if you keep doing the wrong shit, acting lazy and shit, the Lord gets rid of you. Because you got to do a bunch of physical stuff to be in this truth. That's what they don't get. Like it's a lot of physical stuff that you have to do to show that you're one of those men. And it's not easy to balance when you first start, but eventually you just got to get up and start running, Jake. And I mean full time. You got to start running in this shit. You got to go in there. Because if you don't go in there, everybody's going to know that day. You know, everybody's going to know if you was really about it. It ain't going to be no question or no looking or, you know, you ain't going to be able to be under the radar. You're going to have to be like, I know this book. Seriously. You know what I mean? Said only the 144,000 knew the song. Whole thing, man. You got to strive for that. This is Rawchaa chapter 25, verse 2. 3 sorts of men my soul hateth. Right? Because you got this guy, he's talking about, he tried to use Matthew chapter 5, verse 22, I think, going into, he was trying to say that the meek shall inherit the earth, the poor, but there's 2 different types of poors. So we're going to go into both of those. Now, I'm greatly offended at their life, right? A poor man that is proud, right? So this can't be the same poor that he's talking about, right? He's saying the poor in spirit and everything, but he doesn't think we're really in slavery. Like he's like, I can understand that the dollar, you know, it's got an Edomite on it and he put us through slavery. That's truth. But he's trying to make it seem like the rest of the truth that we got to say ain't the truth. Like we're not under the curses. That's what he said. I'm not under the curses. But I can see that there is a curse around us. Okay, bro. Jake just wants to die, right? And the Lord wants him to too. That's why he's making him say that shit. Because he's trying to be a teacher and he's going to get a worse judgment because he's teaching. Okay? You didn't want to go into the sheepfold. You didn't want to serve your Bahasham Yahawashi with GMS. You ain't with us or you ain't with the people that they say is cool, that's affiliate camps or whatever that's outside of us, you in trouble. That's what we saying. A poor man that is proud, a rich man that is a liar, and an old adulterer that doteth. Right? So we're going to this poor man is proud because that's what he said at the beginning of his video. You know, I didn't really want to look too much into it. I looked about 3 minutes and then I just started feeling vexed. I was like, I got enough to go do a lesson on this shit. I don't want to just, you listen to people like that, you just start feeling retarded after you listen long enough. You know? They've been spitting that stupid shit so long, we feel dumb when we listen to their ass. That's why we only do like 2 minutes to their ass. We got to cut their ass off. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 36. What? Came the word of the Most High out from you? Or it came unto you only? Right? These how these people are, man. This how these people are. They be like one Jake out here trying to talk about he know what the scripture's talking about. He ain't got no leaders, no elders, nothing to do with prophecy. Prophecy said that the men would be scattered across the four corners of the earth and would stand up in great boldness together. That's what it's saying. You ain't with them people. I don't know what to tell you, because that's where I want to be. I don't want to be outside the fence talking about some whatever. I want to be over there all the way. That's all we think about all day, man. You got Jake doing this shit. And this is where the Lord will look at you just like this if you lukewarm too long. You got to eventually, that fire's got to grow. Okay? That's why GMS Spiritual Army 144, he always goes into all the Hebrew prayers. He's got a whole bunch of them. He just did a little quick 6-minute lesson the other day. It was like almost 7 minutes. Going, you grow or you go. It's like not a game. You gotta grow, Jake. You gotta grow, for real. And I be thinking about myself too. Like, damn, I gotta go in more. Shit. Just like when you lift weights, if you just keep lifting 20 pounds, you ain't gonna get strong. You gotta just start building up a little bit if you want to gain weight. So this is this dude right here. We're just gonna listen to him for a second. I want to just go into the kind of make some points going into a few scriptures, going into the beginning of this stuff, so you know where he going off at.
And we live. Boom. I'm gonna just go ahead and kick this off talking, just out the gate. The reason I'm not with that Hebrew Israelite ideology no more, because it's a lie. That's why. And I've been woken up to what the actual truth is. Not saying that none of these men don't speak any truth at all.
Oh, so
some things they may say.
But he said, hold on, let me see. Yeah. You gotta think about it. This dude, as you can see, he don't look like he been teaching that long. All right. So he got the whole understanding. And just I like what Elder Manasseh Zakbar said. He said, you don't just, if you don't see it's like, you don't just, if you're a Christian and you just like be like, all right, I'm gonna go back and be a sinner, you don't like make a video about it. Like, this is retarded. But this dude really trying to claim like he knows more than the whole camp, bro, that he learned from. He learned from us, starting with the elders and apostles. That's how you even know he's a Hebrew Israelite. And then another thing is like, I seen one of the comments and I agree with it. And somebody said, it's saying if you're an Israelite, a Hebrew Israelite, and you say you're not a Hebrew Israelite no more, that's just like an Asian saying he's not Asian no more. Like, this your nationality. You can't just not be Israel. Jake ass, man. Jake thinks he's right, but we're going to show that he's wrong. Okay.
Say, yeah, maybe truth. The truth is the truth. 2 + 2 is 4, right? Whether I say it or if the devil say it. The devil say 2 + 2 is 4. Okay. I say 2 + 2 is 4. Okay, it's the truth, because it's the truth. Not saying the devil can tell the truth. I'm just saying no matter who say the truth is the truth. But there are a lot of things that are untrue.
And that's wrong, because it's not about who. He said no matter who says the truth is the truth. That's not true, because some people are literally born to lie. They talk about Esau, even so-called white man, was born speaking lies. Straight from the womb, come out just lying, like, I'm Israel. That's the first thing he said when he came out. This nigga is not Israel. Okay? This nigga's not Israel. Okay? And everything else that comes after that is bullshit. So the only truth that's coming out of anybody, the rivers of living water, is these men. That's it. Ain't nobody else supposed to be talking right now. I don't think Jake understands that.
That are being spoken, especially when it pertains to the gospel. And I can't get jiggy with that no more. You know what I mean? I just can't. You know, for instance, I got my Bible open on my phone right here to 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9 through 15. Something that came to me off the gate, out the rip. It say a wife should learn quietly with complete submission. Blase. I'm going to go to verse 13 and say, Adam was formed first. So it mentions Adam. Adam wasn't no Hebrew Israelite, was he? No, because
So this is when you know he don't got knowledge right there, okay? Because you have to see through the spirit that the prophets have been since dawn of time, okay? It says that in the scriptures, even from the beginning. So the fact that he's saying that, and we know that it started with, you know, Adam, and you know, they would be the Adamites, the Adama from the ground, okay? That's where we will be from, because that's Adam. And that was we're going to show you. We're going to go into the scriptures about it. He wasn't necessarily the first being on the earth, the first creature on the earth. He was the one that got the Rawchaa, Qadash, the first one that got the spirit. Okay, and everything else around it didn't have it. And that was even the other nations. Okay, so we're going to go into that and show you some of that. Okay, it's been a while since I went into it, but he says that, right? And he mentioned some other stuff, but I don't want to go into it too much. He tries to, you know, he's just missing some other stuff, but I want to go into the fact that he said that, you know, the Israelites weren't there in the beginning, right? He said that Adam wasn't an Israelite, right? But we know over here in the scriptures, we know that starting right here, gonna make it all in order. In the beginning, the Most High created the heaven and the earth, right? When you go to this word, God, okay? So he says Elohim. See, that means plural. Elohim. Okay, I'm gonna show you.
Strong's H 430, entry 1. Eloah.
So he's trying to say
Elohim. Second entry.
See?
Elohim.
That means
Elohim.
Plural. See, it says.
And the third entry. Eloah.
Right? Plural. See, rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods. That's why I said in Psalms, book of Psalms says, ye are gods. You talking to these men who's supposed to be talking, everybody else not supposed to be saying shit. That's what's supposed to be going on right now. There's a whole lot of people talking. That's why looking gonna fuck shit up. Okay? And of course it says gods, goddesses, or whatever. There is goddesses, but guess what? They're behind the gods. They're with us. They doing whatever the fuck we need them to do. That's what's going on. God-like one works for special possessions of the Most High. Simple as that, right? So we know that the angels were there. It was more than just Yahawashi. Okay? This is a simple one. We're going to do it, jump to this, and then we're going to go back and go into some of the history of how we know that this is really to go into, you know, we went into it before, but Adam was Yahawashi. Okay? That's why the title, Message to the Seven Churches, that what? This is the revelation. The revelation means to reveal of Yahawashi HaMashiach. This is him showing who he was, who he is, who he was in those times, and it was given to us by the elders and apostles. And one of them, we know he was Adam. Right here, Revelation 1:8. We're going to keep it simple, but we're going to go a little deep too at the same time. Revelation chapter 1, verse 8, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord. See, so he was Adam because he was the first one to come here, which is and which was and is which to come, the Almighty. And this is, of course, this is simple to, you know, the elect. This is why we deal with this stuff. Don't have to get super deep, but we're gonna show you one of them that I went into before back in the past, but it's been a minute since I really got to go into it, kind of explaining this situation with how they believe how the earth was made. Because if you don't understand how everything was formed, there's no way that you can read these scriptures. You have to know how stuff started. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go Jeremiah 1:5, right? And it reads, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. So he even knew Adam, you know, and he didn't even form him out of the belly. He made him out of the dirt, you know, the dust, The ground. That's why we know he wasn't a so-called white man. His name he wasn't related with Jesus, because Jesus, so-called white man, there's no white soil nowhere. It's just Adama from the ground. Everybody was dark-skinned in that day. You know, just over time, it's weaker through age, so everybody has less melanin and shit. And then you had Esau eating so-called white man. The Lord stripped it all the way out of him and took the blessings from him and everything. He can't get out of here. He's going to be stuck here on this earth forever. He's going to be buried here. He will not leave this rock. He's going to try all he can. And he's not going to make it. And that's what the Lord sanctified him to do. Come here and get left. And everybody else, y'all want to think that you're not going to get left. You're being lazy and shit. And that's just being, period, talking about in the spirit, trying to find the Lord, really trying to look for him. You're going to get left. It's a very serious situation. Very dangerous, fucking with this book. And just not understanding what it's saying, man. And in a way, seeing people like that is terrifying. Because he's a proud poor man. He don't need no military. He ain't got nothing. You don't own a military and you don't own crates and shit. Esau could send a damn robot over there and blow up in your face and it looked like a female. You thought it was a female, but they made it look so real like a female. And then just blew up in your face and you died and shit because you was trying to holler and shit. That's the shit that's coming up. Okay? Where's that word? I'm trying to go to it. For I formed thee. You gotta look at that word formed. He's all gonna get diabolical and shit, man. You're gonna start sending radio waves in people's ears and shit, and you ain't got the spirit, you're gonna pop like a noodle. He's not playing. Very serious about Jacob's trouble, man. Shit's finna get come back.
Strong's H3335. Yatsad,
right? Of divine activity, of creation, right? Creature, original creation, individuals at conception, Israel as a people. That's what forming means. He ain't talking about everybody. He's talking about forming Israel. You know what I'm saying? To be created, to be predetermined, preordained. So that means like, nah, man. It says the potter, we know about the parable of the potter, the frame. Okay, so he formed Yahawashi at the beginning, so that could go into fruition. The Revelation 1:8 about him saying, "I am the Alpha." Can't be the Alpha and then not and be, you know, the one that got, you know. You can't be the Alpha and then be the one that got the Rawchaa Qadash lash, because that's what makes you Alpha, the Rawchaa Qadash. If you don't got the Rawchaa Qadash, you're just flesh. You ain't even living. It said you are the congregation of the dead. Okay? You're not even alive. And you think you're alive. Okay? That's what it is. You don't got the Rawchaa Qadash. So I said the ones that are out of the way of understanding will remain in the congregation of the dead. That's where that guy's at right now. He doesn't even know yet. So Genesis chapter 1, verse 23, and it reads, "In the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And the Most High said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so." Right? So he said, make all the creatures. But where did he reference humans as creatures? I'm going to do it real quick. We're going to go back. Romans. Okay. Romans chapter 1, verse 25. And it reads, "Who changed the earth of the Most High into a lie, and who worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever." Who is the creature? Esau, even so-called white man. Why are they worshiping him? Because he's got all the money. He's got all the resources. He's got all the slaves right now. But the Lord said he's about to transition that to the so-called Negroes. That is what we're telling you. We're not going to do it. He's going to do it. We're just going to read it to you because you've been using this book the whole time. You thought it was a fucking joke. And now the Lord's going to get you. He's going to get you, E. He's going to fucking get you, bro. You're going to be terrified. We're going to be glad you are. Because that means that prophecy came to pass. He said that was going to happen. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 21. And it reads, "Because the creature itself shall also be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High." See? That creature's talking about the elect. They're going to get delivered. Okay? Then you got 2/3 wicked Israelites. You come back through those, the ones that got delivered. And the rest of the wicked Israelites across the four corners of the earth. Okay? Because that 2/3 pie represents here. That's why the Lord did it that way, so you can really understand how serious it is for you to be standing in America, Babylon, great, and reading these scriptures wrong. You're going to realize how serious it is. You're going to realize how serious it is. It means the Lord really wanted to get your ass. He put you in a boiling pot, and he makes you say some dumb shit. So we're going to go back over here, right? So we know creatures are talking about people, so they're already there, right? And the Most High made the beasts of the earth after his kind. This wasn't when Adam was made. And the cattle after their kind. And the Adam, it was the Adamites. It was more than just them, because remember, it was plural, Elohim. So everybody was with him too. All the 144,000 elect, they were with him, making shit. Most High made the beasts of the earth after his kind, the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And the Most High saw that it was good. He said, good. What does good mean to the Lord? Good for what? Prophecy to be fulfilled. That doesn't mean there wasn't no wickedness out there. That's why the serpent was out there. Said it looks great. Looks like Esau, Edom getting drained out of this motherfucker through the bottom drain, and descendants done forever. That's what he said. That's why he made him like that. Okay. Said, it looks great. It's going to fit in for my story. It's going to work out. Verse 26, and the Most High said, let us make man in our image. This is when he made Adam and Yahawah, he made Adam, which is Yahawashi, because we read the Alpha and Omega, and all the other people that were the Adamites, the Israelites, because later they're going to turn into the Shemites, because you had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The Shemites weren't always Hebrew Israelites. They became Hebrew Israelites after a moment of Shem having all the 12 tribes of Israel to make Israel, you know? You know what I'm saying? Through that seed line, Al-Faxad, King David, you know, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. These are names that if you don't know these names, then you think it's just a joke. It's like you're just not one of us anymore. If you're one of us, you're going to find out you're one of us, and you're going to get a worse judgment because you talking shit. The Lord's going to get your ass. Let us make man in our image, right? After our likeness, right? That's talking about the Adamites. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, for over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Right? See? He made all them just there. 144,000 that came down here, started fucking with these bitches, and ever since then, we've been in trouble. Okay? We've been in fucking trouble. So I would be telling you, man, every damn other day, watch them women, bro. That's part of how we got here. Fucking around with them. So we got to fuck around with them carefully. The only way we can do is if they fucking with Yahawashi, because we're his wife. You ain't fucking with him, I don't want to really fuck with you. That's how I feel about it. But there's different brothers. You know, that's just me personally. You ain't fucking Yahawashi, I'm just going to be like, all right. You know? Because we know that a lot of them have deceived us over time. It says Pharaoh warned of a serious fate. Okay? So this is going into, you know, Pharaoh being warned that he was made great, just like Assyria. Okay? But this right here, we're going to show you something that referenced Yahawashi in the garden. Okay? Because everybody thinks that we're not nothing, and they think that they're the gods. They think that they're the best. They really think they're God. That's why I said that 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 4, he placed Pharaoh up there to make him, you know, think he's most high. Everybody is agreeing with him, except us, Israel. You'll find out he's not. It's Ezekiel chapter 31 verse 1, and it came to pass in the 11th year, in the 3rd month, and the 1st day of the month, and the word of the Lord, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto Pharaoh, of king of Egypt, and to his multitude. We're doing it right now. He did it then. Lord, make sure we all came back here and read it to you again. You know, and one of us is probably Ezekiel. Who knows? Lord willing, he out here, you know, or he might be in the heavens. Who knows? But it said we would come back. Whom art thou like thy in thy greatness, right? So he was comparing them, but at the same time, he was comparing how Yahawashi was in the heavens and the other angels. Verse 3, behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches, right? And when you look, I want to point this out because me and the elder was reviewing over this earlier. And that's why I wanted to go into it. Was just kind of just going in the spirit and just going in over certain scriptures. And this is one that we went into, Egypt being compared to fallen Assyria, because this place is considered spiritual Egypt, spiritual Assyria, you know, spiritual Babylon, really physical Babylon the Great, physically the Roman Empire, revived, okay? That's where we're at. And if you can't even figure that out, there ain't no way you stepping on the highways and byways and dealing with us, you know, that reincarnation that's the only reason why this shit makes sense. He said he put us in remembrance. So if you don't remember right now, that's bad, right? That's why it says right here in the NLT, it says you are like mighty Assyria. See, it's comparing them. Okay? Just wanted to show that. Because this is not something you can just read and understand it. You have to be able to know what you're talking about, really talking about. You can't do that without the elders and apostles of the great millstone. And it said to cling to the multitude of elders. That's an order. That's not like you can decide to do that. If you are these men, you're not going to have to be told that. You're going to be here. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be here because there's those men, he said, they're going to be scattered across 4 corners of the earth, and they're going to be doing this, and they're going to be a body. I'm talking about 144,000, you know? And just because you're not a teacher don't mean you can't be in the elect. I'm just saying, like, that's where I believe where it came from. That's the school of the prophets. That's why I did everything I could to come in here. So I know what this is. You know, we know what we're involved in. It's not nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? It's very serious. So, anyways, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches and with a shadowing shroud and of a high stature. And his top was among thick bows, right? This is really talking about like seed line, okay? Because it said in it's Romans, yeah. Let me see. No, Mark 8:24 says that he sees us as trees, and he said he'll know us by our fruits. So that's another way you can see spiritually. But we're gonna go start from right here, like I said, so I can make the point. So the thick bows is talking about that. We'll look it up in Leviticus and show you that's talking about offspring in a second. Verse 4, the water made him great. The deep set him on high with the rivers running around about his plants and sent out her little rivers into the trees of the field. This is really spiritually really going back into how he set up Yahawashi. He's got them looking like they're Yahawashi right now. This is really how Yahawashi is. Okay? This is how they felt whenever he made all them damn people, all them creatures, and then he made Yahawashi and all the Adamites, and they were salty about it. That's what this is talking about. Verse 5, therefore, this height was exalted above all the trees of the field, and his bows were multiplied. It's talking about ultimately Israel, okay? But he did this with Assyria and Egypt, and they thought like they were the people, and he got rid of their ass. That's what he's finna do completely. They will never have a kingdom again after this one. And his bows were multiplied, and his branches became long because of the multitude of waters, right? He said that we'd be spewing off rivers, living water. And what it say about the woman? They not even supposed to be talking. So who you think they talking about? They're talking about men of Yahawashi. That's what they're talking about. Long, they ain't talking about no men of Jesus. They ain't none of them out here doing this. Became long because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth. See? Everybody else came and then he came. They was explaining all the way over here in Ezekiel. Y'all ass think y'all know the damn Bible and shit. Nah. And this is talking to the scoffers, not to you people out there as believers, people who really tuning in. Shalom, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak, Atham. You know, y'all know we love Yahawah, Yahawashi, man. We real serious about the Lord over here. Very serious. You know what I'm saying? Brothers just got different ways of showing it. You know, so and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwell all great nations, right? Everybody's under Yahawah, Yahawashi, because he runs everything. It said Isaiah 45:7, he controlled the lightness and the darkness. He made good and evil. So they work for us. That's why I said we surpass the deeds of the wicked. Okay? Because whatever you did with Esau, it ain't nothing compared to what he's about to make these men fucking do. You're going to find out this is military. When that gets that time, he cuts that switch on and they come out here, you're going to find out that's what military is. You're going to find out that's the true military of the Lord. And we hope to be them. And it starts with knowing how to say this. That's where it starts. Knowing how to interpret this. You ain't going to be no damn 30 plus years old, 30, 35, whatever, 40, and be acting like you know the book. That's a bad move, Jake. And you acting like you're a teacher, bad. And you calling on the wrong name, Lord gonna get you. You're gonna do a lot if you don't repent. That's what we're here to do, to warn you. You don't want to listen, your ass gonna get jacked up, man. But you know it says he deceived those prophets, you know what I'm saying? That's what he said. He deceived them prophets who was like that, man. Right? So we're gonna get to the point. It's in 9, right? Thus was he fair in greatness, and the length of his branches, for his root was by great waters. And we said it, we know Isaiah 44, chapter 44, it talks about he'll spread these men across the water courses. Okay. Verse 8, the cedars of the garden of the Most High could not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of the Most High. Where's that talking about? The Garden of Eden. You know, that's really where it's talking about. You know, where it started. Because it said, Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9, what happens once shall happen again. So since it started, everything's been happening exactly the way the Lord said it was going to happen. And it's coming to this point right now where we're all still in the garden, but we're just scattered. And the Garden of Eden is starting with the land of Israel. And what did he do? He cursed Israel and scattered them across the four corners of the earth. That's why you had James in the first verse, said to 12 tribes scattered abroad, greetings, shalom. Shit's gonna get blown up here in America, Babylon the Great. Like, that is what we're doing. We're speaking this word into existence. If you're not one of these men and you didn't read this book, then that means basically that you were meant to be condemned reading it, you know? And then if you read it and it's right, that means that you're one of those men. Like, if you read it and you get all the way to the end and endure and stay in the doctrine and stay in order, then literally this book was written for you to read it. Okay? Everybody else is not supposed to be reading this goddamn book right now, except the 144,000 elect men. You got people reading this shit, they don't even know what that is. That shit is a body. Ain't nobody doing no their own thing. Ain't no I in the elect. Ain't nobody doing their own fucking thing. We're doing what the Lord said. This is how we got to do it. We're not going to shy from that. We're going to be very, diligent in it. So we're not like his boughs and the chestnut trees. We're not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden, right? It's like unto him in his beauty, right? When he made him, he made everybody else first. Then he made Adam, Yahawashi, and his seed line that he's coming to go save. He ain't going to save nobody else. That's why he made y'all separate. Said in addition to Esther 10 verse 10, what does it say? It says there's a lot for the Gentiles and a lot for all, or this is a lot for all the Gentiles and a lot for Israel. That's it. He been separated us since the dawn of time. He ain't no getting in. Verse 9, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden, these other people that were in the garden of the Most High, envied him. And that's how they are today. It said that hated thee that rebuketh at the gate. It said in Psalms that he only gave the understanding to Israel, to Jacob. This is stuff that we go over all the time, because if this didn't exist, we wouldn't exist. Okay, that's what we were born to do. Come and read this to you. It's literally, if we were the elect men, that was the only reason why we were born, to come read this. And most of us is gonna hate our lives unto the death, because we read about the other prophets that went through shit. Isaiah got sawed in half and shit for the truth. This Leviticus chapter 23, verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, it's going into, the Day of Atonement. Okay. When ye have gathered the fruit of the land, and ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days, and the first day shall be a Sabbath and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. You know. And really, this is going into, let me go to it. Let me make sure I got that right. Leviticus, pretty sure that what it was. Let me check. Just double check. 23:40. Yeah. Laws of religious festivals. Let me get over here because it's going to go and show you. You know, it said make full proof of our ministry. So I try to show you everything. See, Day of Atonement. Right here, 26. Okay. Right. And that's really going right there in the Day of Atonement. And then, you know, what else we had? Yeah. 40. Yeah, that's going into the Day of Atonement. Okay. So this is the point. So right on the on the 7th month, when ye have gathered fruit of the land, and ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days, and the first day shall be a Sabbath, on the 8th there shall be a Sabbath, and ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches and palm trees, and boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and ye shall rejoice before the Lord your power is 7 days, right? But this is going into spiritually. That brook is really talking about Israel being gathered to come together for the tabernacle for the feast, because he talked about what Yahawash's branches, his bows, you know, was fruitful. Yeah, he even got the tribe Ephraim, which is fruitful. Okay, this is all going back to Israel. This is talking about the tree of life.
Strong's H 6529. Peri.
Just like, just like when, basically since the dawn of time, the tree of life was rooted into that seed line, and everybody else don't got it. That's what the scripture's talking about. If you don't have it, you're not getting in. Fruit, produce of the ground, see fruit, offspring, children, progeny of the womb, fruit of actions, figuratively. See, it's talking about people. Okay.
Strong's H 6529. Peri.
Somebody, you gonna get everybody together and you gonna celebrate the high ancient holy days. That's what it's saying. They don't have that here no more. And it says to be separate, you have to be holy. And people looking at us like, what we're doing is not holy. What we're doing is holy. What we're teaching you is the holy scriptures. That's what we're teaching you, the right way. And we're putting our lives on it. We're betting our lives on it that we're right, because we got those apostle of great millstone. You know what I'm saying? We know that what we're saying is right. We just hope we are that number, man. We don't know that, but we know what he said. It's Mark chapter 8, verse 24, that it says, and he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. Simple. And you go right here to Matthew 7:16. Right, it says judging others, knowing if they're what? They got the Qadash potential. If you didn't have it since the dawn of time, you're not getting in. You're not getting in here. You're not getting into the truth, and you're not going to stay to the end. You're gonna fall out. That's what it's saying. See, so know them by their fruits, right? Noah says trees, and guess what the fruit's gonna say? We done done it before. We're gonna do it again. Because it's the only reason why we're alive. We just do this shit all day, man. It's the best thing you could be doing as a man.
Strong's G 2590. Cartapas.
Right? Yeah, it's like with a K. Fruited trees, vine pills, right? That which originates or comes from something. The effect, result. You can understand that Qadash is the only thing that is alive on this planet. Everything else is literally dead. Okay? That's what it's saying. Where is it at? I think, it says act. It says work, act, deed. Right? Your worked. It's like consecutive with doctrine. Okay? So I said, they don't speak according to this doctrine. You don't have the right interpretation. You talking about so-called white man coming to get us or whatever and save us. Okay. That shows you don't have the Rawchaa Qadash. You still might be an Israelite, but we're going to go over an Israelite that looks like he's an Israelite, and he's one of Thomas Jefferson's great grandsons. He looks just like Jake. He's Esau. I'm going to show you.
Strong's G 138. Hyreo.
Hyreo. So this is like the root word of that word fruit. To take for oneself, to prefer, choose, to choose by vote, elect to office. Right? We're in the offices over here. Okay. And the Lord is putting that in there. Okay. To be like, you're the one who was there at the dawn of time, and you created the earth with me. Okay. That's the elect men. You can't just be no regular ass Jake. You be them men, man. That's what we saying. And that's how we know that the elders and apostles are those men, because they are not no regular men, man. Beyond highways and byways, as long as they've been, you cannot be no regular man and do that. That is impossible. There's nobody else doing it either. And it said that we're the world's most hated camp. They call us Bumalites, right? They say all this shit about us, you know. But they're gonna find out, man. They shouldn't have been playing around with Bahasham, Yahawashi. They're gonna find out, man. It's a very serious book you fucking with, and we don't expect that many people be watching. It said small sanctuaries. We expecting most people to go away. It's Rawchaa chapter 36, verse 12. O Lord, have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel, who is thou named thy firstborn. Even though he was born second, the Lord said he's going to be first, out of him and Esau. Because why? Because since the dawn of time, they got put the Rawchaa Qadash in them. It was already chosen before Esau even came the fuck out here, or Cain, or the serpent did whatever, or Eve did whatever. It was already decided who's going to fuck home. That's what it's saying. Verse 13, be merciful unto Jerusalem, right? Talking about just Israel, which how you say Jerusalem is Jerusalem, the place of thy rest. This is where his spirit is in, where he put it in the beginning of time. It's there in them. Verse 14, fill Sion, talking about Israel, with thine unspeakable oracles, and thy people with thy glory, right? Verse 15, give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning. See, those that thou hast possessed. Possess means possession, like you had more. To those, see, it's plural. Okay, possess from the beginning, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. That was the first thing the Spirit said to them. They were like, oh shit, that is the Lord's people. And that is the enemy, Jake. And you got our own people, just like they did in the time of Maccabees. They were still revolting and being wicked and shit. They're here today doing the same thing, talking about us like we don't know what we're talking about. Just like, I'm not with that Hebrew Israelite thing. Well, good. That means that we're one more less Jake that we got to worry about, because we know that we got to feed the flock over here. We got to make sure that they know that we know what the fuck we're talking about, because that's the only way that they believe they're getting out of here. It's through us, starting with the elders and apostles, man. This is Luke chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be the Lord, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. Verse 69, and he hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, right? That seed line that came out of the dust, the Adamites. That's who he's really talking about going into the Hebrew Israelites. That seed line he birthed, and everybody else in Ezekiel, like I talked about, all them trees envied them, but they was trying to compare, it at the same time it was comparing Assyria, modern day, Assyria and Egypt, Egypt falling like Syria. Okay. It was going into, the prophecy of Daniel, basically. Okay. Where he talked about the statue. Okay. But at the same time, it was still talking about also in the beginning, that is talking about that seed line. Okay. That's why I said that anybody made him more. You can't know that shit, man, and just be a regular ass guy. Okay, it said that he, you know, made that to where it was it was actually could be a conclusion in this time. Okay, this is really them falling again, just like this, but way worse this time, and they're not going to rise no more. And you only can get that if you're spiritual. Like you ain't gonna get that. We're reading this to the people, to the same Pharaoh that was in that day. You know, that spirit, that's the same one we're speaking to. And back then it used to be the so-called Hamites, you know, and it was a nation as a collective, which is the so-called Africans, but the Lord changed it to Esau. That was part of the prophecy that they would take over the earth. Okay. But that same spirit of Pharaoh is what we're talking to. We've been telling them for a long time that his shit's gonna fall, like completely fall. It's never gonna run again. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. It's simple stuff. Verse 71, that we should be saved from our enemies, from the hand of all that hate us. Same people in Ezekiel who was talking about they were salty. They were salty because they wasn't Israel. Verse 17, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant. Verse 73, the oath which he sware to our father Abraham, right? Still sealing on Israel, that he would grant unto us that we being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, what that we're in slavery to, because he said we wasn't in slavery. Israel's in slavery. We in the hand of our enemies right now. That's part of this prophecy. Might serve him without fear, right? We don't serve with fear. We have, you know, full faith. The Lord's gonna come for us. So we're only one talking about him. Verse 75, in holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our life. Okay, so we'll stop right there. You know, it's just what he promised us. He thinks that we didn't get promised it, but that's fine. You're gonna get left. And while that's going on, I was watching that earlier. It's lucky. What's going on right here? It says Trump threatens to take over Canada, Panama Canal, Greenland, and Christmas Day message. So everybody out here giving out gifts, and he's like, I'm gonna take over Canada. Well, guess who owns Canada? Great Britain. They basically, that's their territory. So like, fuck that. I want that shit. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 11. And it reads, because you were glad, because you rejoice, oh, you destroyers of mine heritage, right? We got our heritage taken. They got us all out here calling on Jesus and shit, right? That's what we're saying. Destroyers of my heritage. You took the name Yahawashi, you put Jesus Christ in there, and you got 2/3 of Jacob out here calling on them. That's prophecy. That's prophecy. We know you're going to do this. We're glad you're doing it. We're not doing it. But this is really talking about, you know, talking right here about America, Babylon the Great being glad. It's, oh, yeah, you robbed my shit. Yeah, you be glad for right now, just like he was saying to him in Ezekiel 31st chapter. Yeah. Your fall going to happen the same way. When you read through all that, they talk about they fall going to be the same way. Because you were glad, because you rejoice, oh, you destroyers of mine heritage, because you are grown fat as heifers at grass and bellow as bulls. Verse 12, your mother shall be sore confounded, that she that bear you shall be ashamed. What's that talking about? Great Britain, say help build this place. So they're going to be ashamed of this place the way America, Babylon the Great, this whore, is acting in court. She can get her ass burnt with fire, because that's what it said in Leviticus. A woman is adulterous and a whore, you get burnt with fire. That's you know, connected to the doctrine of America, Babylon the Great being destroyed, because they called it a great whore. So they're gonna get destroyed with missiles. This is gonna be the biggest bonfire for all hoes across America. So it's finna go down. Okay, shall be ashamed. Behold, the hintermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land and a desert. They're gonna be ashamed that they're dealing with you, saying, all right, let's just burn this hoe up. That's synapses. That's what it's talking about with America, Babylon the Great. That's how Great Britain's about to be. But be like, fuck them. They think they the shit. They out there, they done You know, you got Hitler talking about they stole the precious jewels of the Lord and shit. They know what it is. So here's President Thomas Jefferson. All right, see this guy? Here's Jefferson's sixth great grandson, Shannon Lanier. That is not a Jake. That is an Edomite. Okay. And I'm glad that this came across my feed, because now I'm able to do a lesson on the wheat and the tares. This is a good example of it. Thomas Jefferson's sixth great grandson, right here. Okay. Because they had a bunch of them. It had like 16 different presidents, but all of them look like Edomites. This one fucked Eve, okay, and had one of these niggas. Okay, this is an Edomite. So we're showing you it's not about skin color. You know, has nothing to do with that. It has to do with whatever bowls, whatever tree you came out of. So I say you knew by their fruits, their elective office, their special, tactical, organized, you know, ability, gifts from the Most High. So that's why they be like, the other bosses will always be like, we ain't fuck with no lukewarm, because there's no such thing in the elect. And there is no I. It's us. We're together. You know? We got to figure this out and make sure we're doing right for the Tabernacle Brotherhood, and to get ourselves connected to depart from this place. So this is a parable of the tares, because they're just like, he's like, yeah, it's a so-called white medicine, but he's basically, in a long story short, he's trying to say they can get saved. We're going to find out, man. Tares among wheat, right? And the wheat is synaptical, or I don't know how to say it. I really say it. It's simultaneous with, you know, Israel is the wheat, and the tares is 2/3 of our people spiritually. But then there's tares that are like that, okay, physically. Tom Jefferson, you know, come out of that Edomite. That's a doggone Edomite, okay? It said that Esau will be the end of the world in Second Esdras. And then it also, you know, it also said, hold on, I'm trying to get this thing off. Let me take the strong. I just want to read the red. But I'm going to mention the other part later. I can't remember right now. So another parable, because you want me to get to the point. In the parable, he put forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field, right? The world, right? He put out these men, these trees out here. Some of them going to get burned up. Some of them going to take them out. But while men slept, right, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Like, and this was the time when we didn't have the Qadash on us. We didn't know the name of the Lord. We was just out here fucking suffering without him. He turned his face from us, you know? So Esau was out here doing all types of shit, raping our women and shit and having babies and shit, okay? So it's talking about his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way, right? Screwed some of Eve and had babies. Verse 26, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also, right? Because Esau's out there fucking our women. Verse 27, so to the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then it have tares, right? He's like, where are these motherfucking Edomites looking like Jake? Why is it looking like that? Verse 28, and he said unto them, an enemy have done this. Who's the enemy? Esau, even the so-called white man. And it says, you know, yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Job 9:24. Earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Okay, so they're the ones who did this because they had the earth. Esau was blessed with the earth. Okay, the sword and the fatness of the earth. That was his blessings that he got from Isaac. You know, and going into Isaac's even more deeper, but we're not going to go that far. We're just going to stick with the little deep that we did go, and we're going to stay right there. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then what we go and gather them up, right? Go do the harvest, go ahead and just start Jacob's trouble and save him out of everything, get him out, right? Basically what he was saying, like, go get him out of this shit and make him immortal again. Verse 29, but he said, nay. Well, yes, she got up the tares. She also root up also the wheat with them, right? Talking about what? Burn them up in these missiles, destroying their ass in Jacob's trouble. It's like, no, you start judging shit right now, and then they ain't gonna have time to get their shit together. So he's giving us grace and mercy and giving us time to get ready before he destroys everything on the fucking planet. That's what this is talking about. Okay? He's giving those men time to collect themselves and get right. And after they're done with doing whatever they're supposed to do, that light's going to cut off. That fire that you see, those apostles of great millstone on down, that light's going to cut off. You're going to see everything else going to go right with it till we come back to take over this bitch. Boy, when we got that number. Verse 29, but he said, nay, lest while he gathered up the tares, he root up also the wheat with them, right? We were just saying that. Verse 30, let both grow together until the harvest, right? Both of them. We got pictures of these niggas out here called red-handed. Nigga, you is not us. You is Esau, even so-called white man. That's one of them. All right? That's one of them. That is Esau, even so-called white man right there, man. You ain't gonna have no Jake running shit. That's not a part of the prophecy. It said we would be the tail, not the head. If you up there, you with them. You with Esau, Edom. And you got some of our people up in there too, but if we can prove it, caught your ass. You is not getting in. You already told you can't get in the gate. You don't even know. You're not getting in. And they always be worried about the so-called white man. All the rest of these nations ain't getting in either. None of y'all getting in. All them other trees that were salty as hell because they know they was going to get to watch. They was going to have to watch Israel fucking take off and leave them to get hit with the missiles. They know the story more than us. They've been reading it or we've been asleep this whole damn time. We just come back to remember this what it really says so we can close it out for you. So like, let them both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together the first of tares, right? Get all them together and bind in them bundles to burn them. So he's going to have you in all the positions. Because right now he's gathering the elect right now, too, but he's gathering them at the same time. It's like, get all them doing dumb shit in the spirit, talking shit about GMS and apostles. And, he's getting them all set up. But gather the wheat into my barn, right? The brotherhood. He ain't talking about just getting some regular ass people. He's getting in the ones that were there with him, who made the earth, and everybody who remembers that was with them, which is the elect. That's what he's doing right now. The wheat is talking about the elect. Then you got 2/3 talking about the wicked Israelites that's gonna get burned up, and then everybody else outside of that, it's wicked outside the four corners of the earth. They're gonna get dealt with. And we know that means north, south, east, and west, but I like to mention it because there's always new people coming in. So another sign, blue Erie moon, 2 Erie blood moon total lunar eclipses and Saturn rings vanishing. The 2025 space events you must not miss. Okay, so they got all that going on. Blood moon's coming. It's supposed to be a sign, Let me see this. Yeah, we just got through. Yep, we're gonna do Acts. We're gonna go back to some simple, simple breakdowns. Just going into the times, how we know that he's showing that time's coming where he's finna start fucking everything up. It's Acts chapter 2, verse 20. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and notable day of the Lord come. Right, we're out here every day calling us prophets of doom. We out here telling you, Lord, finna start jacking shit up. Verse 21, it shall come to pass that whatsoever shall come shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved, one at the dawn of time. And we know James wasn't invented until 1542. There's nobody in the dawn of time calling on Jesus. And if you're calling on that name right now, that means that you are not of the elect. You're not of the elect. That's just that simple. You're not of the elect. It's that simple. It's a rock. Unless you repent, and you might still not be it. And then, man, who knows? I don't know. Oh, honestly, I would say no, because it said anybody who put down the plow, was not fit for the kingdom of the Most High, man. So you just put that shit down. You just don't get back up, and you try to come back, man. You better have been like King David's cousin or something. He just was just nice enough to let you back in or something because you had so much fear and stopped talking shit and did your shit right. Sirach chapter 43, verse 6. He made the moon also to serve her in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. It's a sign. It's giving you the Sabbaths. The new moons is the Sabbaths. It's telling you all the times you're supposed to be acting like Yahawashi made that day holy. And y'all ain't doing that shit. You know, the majority of people out here, y'all not doing that shit. You know? And we know we can only do it to the best of our abilities, but we mean by doing this, like you really like you have a love for what has been set up. You know what I'm saying? And these other camps don't do that because they out here trying to sell people out and shit, and you know, selling preset packages and shit. Like they don't really care about the word, man. For the moon is the sign of feast and the light that decreaseth in her perfection. We're just gonna read it 10, verse 8. The month is called after her name. See, moon means month. It's going into the new moons. Every month is talking about the Sabbaths. We got one coming up. I think it's Monday night to Tuesday night, the 30th. Okay, and it'll be like sundown to sundown. Okay, yeah, that's the new moon. Sundown to sundown will be a new moon, and you work 6 days, and the 7th day you rest, and that's another Shabbat. And then you do it like that until the next new moon. You know, that's how the months actually go. It's meant to give you what time it is, and there's blood. Moons turn into blood. What is that Lord saying? It's about time. Shit is finna go down. Increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above. This is to show you that it's an instrument to tell you when it's 144,000 leg men about to come back here and fuck everything up. That's what the moon is there for you to know that one day that bitch gonna be there and America Babylon the Great is gonna be on fucking fire, man. That's what it's there for, to show you that that's gonna happen. Shining in the firmament of heaven, talking about space. Verse 9, the beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of the Lord. See, you're not going to ever get past it. You're never going to get to it. We're going to leave after we deal with you here. Verse 10, and we might even be leaving while we're dealing with you. Verse 10, who knows? Whatever the Lord allows us to do, we're going to do it if we're of the elect. Verse 10, at the commandment of the Holy One, they shall stand in their order, preordained, predestinated, and never faint in their watches. We always checking that shit. We always look and see whenever it says it, we're like, hey, this talking about Lord from jack shit up. Okay, that's what we came here to do. To prophesy that everybody is about to die in this bitch if you don't trust in Yahawashi. That's what we're saying. And you got to be of the elect. We know they was preordained. But we know this. It said that they were practicing the truth. They would be here doing that. And one thing we do is we think a lot about death. I'm going to read that precept, show you why we think a lot about death, because it says that's what wise men do. We tell your ass, better quit playing. And we telling ourselves at the same time, because we prophets. And if we get the greater condemnation, if we just acting like we ain't doing shit, or acting like we doing shit and ain't doing it. Man dies after Christmas tree falls in Marisa, Rio, right? Christmas tree fell on his ass. Heartbreaking. Over 30 dead after plane crashes on Christmas Day. Another one. Mozambique police commander says 33 dead, 1,500 escaped in Maputo prison riot. "21 more dead in Mozambique erupts in violence after election court ruling." So that's all just a whole bunch of just everybody dying over there. You know what I'm saying? And they think like we just do that because like we're sad or something. No, we do that because that's literally what we was born to do. Show you like some of the stuff he's jacking up right now. We try to show you every day. And we show you when he shut down shit or whatever, you know. And that's just some brothers. Some brothers go into other things. The elders and apostles as well, man. They really go into, you know, what's going on. That's the only reason why I knew about this dude. I wouldn't even knew who he was. Elvis and Apostle didn't say nothing, man. So we're going to go to 7:4. Ecclesiastes 7:4. It's my last precept. Try to keep it under an hour and a half. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to cover. And I got another one I want to show. And I might just do it just because I wanted to show like a little bit about like this AI, man. But I might just do it in a small video. Yeah, I'm going to do it separate from this. I'll do it in the morning, Lord willing. Ecclesiastes 7:4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth, right? We've read that all the time. Mirth is like the partying, but when you read it in the NLT, this is what it says. That's why I like going in the NLT sometimes, because it just gives you like that, you know, other reasons why we be doing shit. How we do it like that. Ecclesiastes 7:4, and it reads, a wise person thinks a lot about death, while a fool thinks only about having a good time. See what I'm saying? That's heavy. A wise person thinks a lot about death. So we be over here, look at this. Bahasham did this, and you know, and then we try to go into other topics, whatever the spirit hits us with. So the idea is to, Lord willing, we was edifying to you. So shalom to like to Israel, hopefully to Israel, Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreigners, Latinos, the nations, cat across 4 corners of the earth. Want to give all praise to Barak, Rawchaa. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honor ourselves and apostles of great millstone. Let us all to this truth. But ordained by the Lord, teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to also part of the elect to the hopeful elect. Lord, when we put that number, Lord, when it's better to find out who fear in the name of the Lord, striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their ability. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah 3:5. It is not slack. 2 Peter 3:9 until ring. 2 Chapter 5, verse 42. Shalom. Now, you say believers out there. Tune in here and on after Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, Barak, Atham. Peace, blessed to the elect. Lord, willing us edifying, Kwam, Yasharala, Wa Abab Abab. Shalom.